Hi, my name is Steven and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about why I seek peace the older I am. Thoughts from a millennial. In the relentless churn of modern day life, it is often very difficult to try to find peace and tranquility within your life. But yet, the older I get, the more I'm drawn to being more at peace with myself and in my life. And I find myself pushing away from the chaos of life that I once enjoyed. As an older millennial, I don't do this out of desire, it's more of a necessity. And this journey towards more peace is vital to keep me sane the older I get. When I started my adulthood in my early 20s, I was driven by passion and ambition. And the last thing I want to do was slow down and be more at peace. But as time marches on and my life gets more and more complex, I'm now seeking more of that peace that I didn't desire 10 years ago. And the constant march of time and the stresses that it brings me forces me to look for more peaceful solutions. So join me as I go through why I now seek peace the older I get. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about my background, why I seek peace, and my general thoughts. And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share with friends, hit that notification bell if you like this content. And here we go. As the years accumulate, life's complexities evolves and multiplies. That's just a facet of life, that things get more complicated and you have more responsibilities to bear. And over many years, decades, and even a lifetime, that weight can be hard to bear without peace in your life. You need to have the occasional balance where you rest and relax and seek out peace. And during this time, you can recuperate your spirit and energy to get back to going at full pace. Because as we age, peace is not just a luxury, it becomes part of what we need to stay sane. And ultimately help you to get into the habit of seeking more peace as you age so you don't burn out when you get older. When I moved out in my mid-20s, I realized how important peace of mind actually is to my life. And all the small and large benefits that it brought me over the last 10 years. Because over the last couple of years, I started to move away from my younger self in which I didn't have peace at all. This not only happened in my 20s, but also my childhood as well. Back then, I wanted my life to be filled with exciting stuff all the time. The last thing on my mind was seeking peace. But now that I have more responsibilities and a family to take care of, I'm less inclined to be at chaos all the time. I do my best to try to allocate time so I can be at peace and recover from the time that I am in chaos. These chaotic times could stem from my work, personal life, and family. So I've gone through the journey of seeking more peace as I age, and I want to give you the tools and tips so that you can do so as well. So here's why I seek peace. Number 1, thinking more clearly. Seeking peace allows me to quiet the incessant noise in my mind, creating space for clarity and focus to emerge. When I'm at peace, I can actually think through thoughts that I need to process. And sometimes I just need to be in a noise-free environment so my thoughts can process itself. And by cultivating these moments, I can sharpen my mental abilities and use it to gain greater insight into my life and those around me. Ultimately, the pursuit of peace helps your cognitive well-being in the long term. You can learn and harness the ability to clarify what's on your mind whenever you need to. Looking back at my younger self, one of the things that I could have done better in personal growth and development was to quiet my mind and think through things properly. I was surrounded by a lot of friends and had a lot of peer pressure on me, so I had incessant noise from other people all the time. I could not clearly think about what I actually want to do and pursue. And of course back then I had the youth and energy, so I thought I could do it all in record time. This of course messed up my long-term thinking and what I actually wanted to do in my life. So I did a lot of non-value activities in my life during my 20s. The reality is I just didn't have the space and quiet time to sit and be amongst my own thoughts. I always wanted to fill that time with stuff and activities that I wanted to do without stopping to think about what I'm actually trying to do. Only when I was able to get quiet and listen to myself did I actually move and progress in my life and be able to hit my life goals that were worth achieving. Now that I'm older, I'm much more adept at listening to myself and seeking that peace so that I don't get into a circumstance where I'm just following the crowd or the noise. So that's one of the reasons why I'm seeking peace as I age. Number 2, reflection. Seeking peace also gives you the ability to reflect on yourself. It gives you the time and space to really analyze what you're going through. You can actually sit with your thoughts, emotions, and feelings and process it in real time. By giving yourself these tranquil moments, you can figure out what you need to do to better yourself. Because the pursuit of peace ultimately had a profound effect on my personal growth and development. I was able to figure out with time what I needed to improve to better my life. One of the biggest things in my 20s was I didn't have a lot of goals or directions. I had a lot of things that I wanted to do, but no clear focus. When I realized those things weren't working for me, I had to slow down, take a pause, and reflect on on what I'd been doing and really think about if the path I was going on was really what I wanted for my life. This happened in my late 20s when I had more time for me to think. It was an extension because I had just moved to Seattle and I had a lot of time on my hands before forming friends. And that reflection helped me to go through all sorts of emotions I was feeling at the time and why I was feeling so off-centered in my early 20s. When you're not at peace, it's hard to be self-reflective of yourself. This is because you might be swayed in different areas and you might not be anchored to your grounded self, which would be a waste of time if you're really trying to fix yourself. So nowadays when I want self-reflection, I go into peace and try to figure out what I need to do to improve my life. Number 3, embracing simplicity. Seeking peace allows me to strip away the modern complexities of life. Because when you're seeking peace, you're actively taking yourself away from the chaos surrounding us. It allows us to ground ourselves in the world and the environment that we're in. By cultivating peace, I can rediscover and find joy in the little things again. Because when you're seeking peace, you're actively taking away the things that are bothering you or causing chaos in your life. And by doing that, you're able to streamline and simplify the things surrounding you. And as an outcome, it gives you a more harmonious existence. As I've gained more peace in my adulthood, I am shocked at how simple life can be, especially compared to my childhood or younger days. When you start to streamline the things in your life, you focus on what really matters to you. You don't go off and searching for a buffet of options. You stick to a few things that you really like to do. And you start to focus in getting good at the things that you enjoy in life, simplifying your attention to gain the maximum value for the activities you're trying to do. This was definitely different than in my 20s when I was trying out a lot of things, and me going shallowly into those things and not really getting good at them. I think we all, whether we realize it or not, try to simplify our lives as we age. Because at some point the responsibilities and the complexity of life can overwhelm us. And we can't operate the same as when we were younger, so we start to streamline things in our lives. So almost out of necessity, as we age, simplifying our lives can lead to peace. And number 4, peace equals growth. Seeking peace has given me the space to allow for my personal growth and development, and offers me stability and groundedness in turbulent times. In these moments of tranquility, it gives me the clarity that I need to grow, and that means I'm better able to navigate the storm to grow and evolve as an individual. By choosing to focus on peace, I build up my resistance and inner strength, because it does take a lot of effort to try to maintain that peace in a turbulent world. You have to actively make space and schedule in peaceful moments. And when you have a lot of time in peace, you start to figure out what you need to do to grow. So this peace becomes ultimately a transformative journey for myself. In my early 20s, I was doing way too much and I didn't have a direction. There was too many things I needed to worry about and I didn't have the time to figure out what I actually need to grow. I was still stuck in adolescence during the bulk of that time, going on the lessons that I learned from childhood. I really didn't have time to think through each of my decisions very carefully. As a result, I didn't do some of the things to make me a better person in my 20s. Now that I'm much older, I can more easily grow as a person. And this is because I just have more space to allow myself to think about things that I need to improve upon myself. I am less swayed by external circumstances and stressors in my life. So using this piece, I can more focus in on the best possible decisions for me. And that gives me a good basis to help me grow into the next phase of my life. Without peace, I cannot grow because life is always chaotic and will pull you back down. So peace brings me closer to a better version of myself. So here are my general thoughts on why I seek peace as I get older. My early childhood was not a life of peace. It was extremely chaotic because the parents that I had didn't know how to achieve peace for themselves. This meant that they didn't know how to show it or practice it. And I, as a consequence, didn't know how to embrace peace in my childhood. This meant that even into my mid-20s, I was still taking the lessons I learned from my childhood and applying it to my adulthood days. It was only after I moved out of my parents' house was I able to achieve total peace. And that experience for the first time in my life was completely transformational for me. Going from a chaotic, crazy, and noisy environment to dead quiet. But regardless of my past circumstances, now I fight to keep the peace in my life, changing my life whenever possible to seek more peace as I age. It has become a key tenet for myself to try and find that sweet spot of peace. Because personal growth and development is never ending and there's always something to improve upon. I think at the end of the day, more people can use peace in their lives, especially in this modern age where you don't know what's going to happen the next day. So those are some of the reasons why I seek peace as an older millennial. In modern society, life is anything but peaceful from day to day, and that can build up stress and anxiety the more we age. But if you're able to resist it and seek peace, there's multiple benefits that can apply to you. But if you're able to resist it and seek peace, you'll be able to weather the storm of chaos and be more resilient to external stresses that might come to you. After a rough and non-peaceful childhood, I switched the gears in my mid-20s. Moving out of my parents' house was the best thing that I could have done for my mental health. Now that I'm in my mid-30s, I'm always actively seeking that peaceful lifestyle. And the more responsibilities I get, the more I want to seek that peace. And also stay sane in the present and in the future. So I hope you learned a little bit about me on why I seek peace. So thank you for watching. Please leave a comment down below on what are your thoughts on seeking peace and what do you do to be more peaceful. And I'll see you next time.